Hi guys, thank you for linking up with Diamond Dear Live. And today, for the recent weeks, I know it has been ups and downs, especially in Britain, after the demise of Queen Elizabeth II. And what many people don't understand is that the British, they use the monarchical government. And people may not understand why there's been a very big ceremony in the UK whereby we saw many thousands parading themselves to have a golden chance of seeing the body of Queen Elizabeth II, who's been on the throne for 72 years. And some of the talks have been, he's been the second longest serving monarch in the whole world, which is around a few months shy from the longest serving king in the history of the monarchical governments. But in Britain, she is the longest serving. And people maybe may be questioning why is she the longest serving? It's because she assumed power when she was around 25 years at a younger age after the demise of the king. Those years, it was around 1953 when she took over as the queen of the British monarchical government. And some of the interesting things is that she was in Kenya when she got the news that she was to be the queen of the British monarchical government, and that's when she flew back urgently back to Britain and she became the queen, serving for 72 years, whereby many have said much about it, which maybe sometime or in this episode I'll get a few minutes to analyze what impact they have, especially to Kenya and much of the Commonwealth countries, which are those countries mainly colonized by the British. But guys, let's have a slight talk about the monarchical government. You see, after the demise of Queen Elizabeth II, as per the customs of the monarchical government, the nearest heir to the throne becomes the king or the queen designate. And as it stands, it's King Charles the Third who becomes the king for the British monarchical government. Why? Because she is the eldest child to Queen Elizabeth II, who is the late. You see, this now creates a question in a monarchical government. Does it reward merit? No. Does it reward experience? No. Does it reflect the will of the people? No. The people do not have a choice on who takes over because it's an automatic system. People may ask, if countries like Kenya we were monarchical government, what could have happened? Maybe even Uhuru Kenyatta could not have become the president, it could have been Uhuru Kenyatta. If Jaramogi Oginga Odinga could have been the king of Kenya, then you could not even have Raila rising to power, but his elder brother, Uhuru Odinga, could have taken over power. So you see, with the monarchical government, many bright brains are locked out simply because you're not in the lineage, the exact lineage that is required. But somehow harsh, and that's why there are many people who will always cast stones upon democratic governments, saying that it's the worst form of government. But from the immediate case of the monarchical government in Britain, we can clearly see if Kenya was a monarchical government, maybe people could not have enjoyed more as they are. But of course, we have got the monarchical government, then we have got the democratic government, which different countries assume. And as it stands, many countries are embracing the democratic government. Maybe in a few, we may talk also of other governments. Beyond monarchical and democratic, we've got dictatorial governments. And what are dictatorial governments? Are those governments whereby the president or whoever has the supreme powers uses a totalitarian mode of system whereby they inflict whatever feels right to them. They don't respect the constitution, but the personal reflections of whoever has the sovereign power is what reflects. For example, you've got countries like Uganda, which is democratic but assuming a dictatorial form of administration. And in dictatorship, we've got two forms. Not all dictators are bad. We have got the good dictators and the bad dictators. But it is a good dictator on the throne. It is known as we have got the belligerent dictators, the bad dictators who inflict much pain on the people. People may say people like Adolf Hitler, they were the belligerent dictators. Then we've got the benevolent dictators. Dictators who assume power and enhance stability in a country. For example, people say Paul Kagame has been a benevolent dictator, a dictator who's risen to heal Rwanda after the Hutu and Tutsi, that's 1994, to heal them together. That's a dictatorial government. Then you have got the aristocratic government, whereby a certain family or a certain social class is the one that assumes sovereign power in a given jurisdiction. That is the aristocratic government. We have other governments like the kakistocratic governments, but we may not talk much about them. Let's go back to the Queen Elizabeth II, who's been on the throne, who's the late. People have said that under her throne, there have been much issues that have been going on. But let's go mainly to what Britain is known for and what many leaders are mourning her for. That is being the leader of the country that colonized many countries, not only in Africa but across the globe. Why? When you look upon USA that gained independence in 1776, it gained from who? The British. When you look upon India that gained independence in 1948, it got independence from who? Britain. When you look upon Kenya that got independence in 1963, gained independence from who? Britain. When you look upon South Africa that gained independence around 1994 from who? Britain. So all those countries that were colonized by Britain, they become the Commonwealth of Nations. People have faulted Queen Elizabeth II for not recognizing the inhumane inflictions that countries, mainly the Commonwealth countries, pass through. The British government has never taken accountability and even to apologize for whatever happened. That's some of the faults that Queen Elizabeth II has been inflicted upon her. I know many people may give some scorecards for the Commonwealth of Nations because at least for around close to half a decade, we always have the Commonwealth Games that bring together those countries. They compete, we get winners, but people see that it's still not enough. The British is ought to recognize that many Africans, millions of them, lost their lives during the struggle for independence, being tortured at the hands of the British armies. We saw many communities being thrown apart, but that's matters that are linked to the Queen Elizabeth and her legacy. But now, what's more important is to see now upon the British. We saw there was just recently that the British government got the new prime minister after the end of Boris Johnson's term, which was characterized by much debates, which we may not talk much about them, but we'll see what kind of stability Britain will get with King Charles III assuming the throne. And next time we meet here, we'll talk more about other historic factors. But for now, it's just to say rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II, and even as world leaders continue mourning her and pouring their love and fair messages of condolence to that family.